Hello everyone, welcome to our Astro Science. So today in this content I will be talking about the transit of Mars into the sign of Leo. On 7th of June 2025, Mars is coming out of its debilitation. It is going to enter the sign of Leo. Leo is ruled by Sun. Sun and Mars are friendly to each other. And Leo is a fiery and masculine sign. So by that rule, Mars will be entering Leo, which is a friendly sign. Leo becomes the fifth house of the natural zodiac. So, which rules creativity, education, children, entertainment, creative intelligence. Mars is our willpower, our energy, efforts, actions. So, here Mars will get the freedom to exercise its creative intelligence. Any work which was pending will now be completed because Mars has entered the sign of Leo and by your own willpower. Last year, Mars entered the sign of Cancer, it turned debilitated. It was a roller coaster ride for Mars. It not only turned debilitated, it also got retrograde, and it is a long interval of time. Now, finally, Mars is coming out of its debilitation. The houses which are ruled by Mars in your chart, that is Aries and Scorpio, and the sign of Cancer, because Mars was debilitated in Cancer. So, Aries, Scorpio, and Cancer, wheresoever these three signs lies in your horoscope, significations and functionality regarding those houses were pending or those houses were under some kind of disruption. They suffered a lot. Now, suppose someone has Aries in your 10th house, like suppose for the Cancer ascendant people, Aries will be the 10th house. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars got debilitated last year. So, the career suffered, the profession suffered. So it can be any house. The significations related to those houses was disrupted. The karma related to those houses were pending. Leo, since it is the fifth house of the natural zodiac, fifth house has something to do with Purva Punya. That is the reason it is like a blessing. That what blessings we have got from the Almighty, the divine power in this birth time. That is the reason it is the Purva Punya. So someone by birth is a very good painter, someone can be a very good athlete, someone is a very good singer, someone can have a very good ability to write poems. So any specific talent I'm talking about, that is fifth house, and Leo becomes the natural fifth house. So you can imagine what kind of power Mars will bring in the sign of Leo. Mars itself is a epitome of fire element. It signifies Agni Tattva, fire element. Leo is a fiery sign. So it is the time to take actions and work on your intelligence, work on your creativity, get the work done. Since the transit of Mars will be until 28th of July, so it is a quite some time. By this regard, the transit of Mars in the sign of Leo will be beneficial for you. And here in this content I will be talking about the results for all the 12 ascendant signs and also the other events and the mundane results related to this transit. It is not only about Mars in Leo, it is about other things also, which I will be talking about in this content. If you are new to this channel, tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon so that every time I make a new content you get notified instantly. And if you want a consultation from me, check the links down in the description section. You can mail me through my email ID or you can get connected with me through my Facebook or Instagram accounts. As you proceed further, if you like my video, press the like button and share it to your near and dear ones. Now let us talk about the other events which are more essential. You will see that as the time goes by, those events will be more essential. In the sign of Leo, we will also have Ketu. Now here why I say that always take the true nodes. The mean nodes have already done the transit. That is the mean node. Now, mean node should not be taken because the value of the longitude of the mean nodes is just a number which can be written in a piece of paper. It has nothing to do with reality because they are not the true nodes. Like someone will say that Rahu is transiting or Ketu is transiting on 18th of May. That is the mean Rahu or mean Ketu. It has nothing to do with reality. The actual reality will be seen 29th of May onwards. Like many people would have said that on 18th of May many things will change. You will see the change after 29th of May. Because on 29th of May, Rahu, that is the true Rahu, comes to Aquarius, true Ketu comes to Leo. On 7th of June, Mars comes to Leo. So what happens? Mars will move forward. Ketu inherently is a retrograde planet, so it will come backwards. So they are far away. Slowly and gradually as the time goes on, the distance between Mars and Ketu will diminish. They will come very close. Initially they are far away. Initially the conjunction is made, but the result of the conjunction may be less. The intensity may be less. So I will say the intensity of the conjunction of Mars and Ketu will be less in the month of June. Results will be there, but the intensity will be less. July will be the month when the result of that conjunction will be understood, felt, realized. Ketu, many of you may know it, many of you may not know it. Let me just say it. Ketu is also a planet related to fire element. In fact, fire element is signified by Mars. Ketu signifies explosive fire. The fire which is not controlled or something which cannot be controlled. The fire which causes devastations, destructions. Now you see fire element getting the priority. Leo, fiery sign. Ketu, explosive fire. Mars signifies the fire element. So as if the Leo sign is burning. So wheresoever the sign Leo lies in your horoscope, you will see the significations related to those houses. All of a sudden it is getting the spotlight. Mars in Leo loves the freedom. Mars in Leo loves that this is my work and let me do it in my way. I know that I want to do it in my way and I can do it. That is Mars in Leo. Now Ketu is a headless planet. As the time will go past, Ketu and Mars will come very close to each other. A time will come when they will move close to each other. Ketu is a headless planet. So what happens? Reckless decisions. Mars in Leo wants to do the work in its own way. Now you take a decision, but you don't think about the consequences. You don't give a second thought. Problem comes. Now it can be regarding any house. Like suppose if it is your second house, you take a reckless decision regarding your finance, and the problem starts. I will discuss each and everything. Now since I say that fire element getting the dominance, the predominant fiery element, normally Mars and Ketu, whenever they get conjunct in a fiery sign, it leads to problems. I will give you one example. Last time when Mars and Ketu got conjunct in a fire sign was in 2020. Mars and Ketu got conjunct in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is also a fiery sign. February and March of 2020, when Mars and Ketu got conjunct. and there was reports of wildfires worldwide. I mean, I'm not talking about one particular country. Worldwide, I'm talking about, be it Australian bushfire, be it the Californian fires, or be it some kind of violence in public spaces, accidents, violence, fire incidents. If you can go through the incidents of February and March 2020, and here I'm not talking about the COVID scenario. That part I have even not talked about. Only the fire element I'm talking about. Now, Leo is somehow related to leadership, royalty, politics. So, this also indicates that someone with power, someone at the highest position, might be in problem. Normally, as I said in my Ketu content also, that Ketu's ingress in the sign of Leo normally indicates that someone in the leadership role might get problem, might be in problem, or someone, it shows fall of a leader, fall of an authority. And here Mars comes. So what happens? Someone in the authoritative position takes a wrong decision which leads to problems. Mars and Ketu also indicates that there can be clash between the powers. In mundane astrology, here it indicates that the powerful nations, because Leo is royalty, Leo is power, Leo, powerful nations and their leaders can take reckless decisions without any second thought. And it also shows power struggles, friction, conflicts between them. Within the government also there can be conflicts, certain scandals coming in front of us all of a sudden. Now if I look at the India's horoscope, Leo becomes the 4th house. Now what is 4th house? 4th house is homeland. 4th house also indicates the people living in the country, homeland, native place. 4th house also indicates agriculture, land, landed property. Mars is also indicator of agricultural lands, landed property. Mars is also known as Bhumiputra. So anything related to land, landed properties, real estate, construction business, even related to agriculture. Since Ketu is also there and it is Leo, so it can be related to technology also. So there can be all of a sudden certain events which are not a happy event during this transit, which indicates not a happy event, I will say. It can lead to some kind of disasters, particularly since I say land, problems related to land. It can be like all of a sudden you may hear some earthquake, some kind of disaster related to land. Now it can be related to mining also, some agricultural dispute related to landed properties, or any new kind of law related to land or landed properties may come up, which might get some kind of revolt, which might get some kind of like aggression from the people. It shows like that, because if only Mars happens to be in Leo, the results could have been different. But here other things has to be also seen, which I will, if I'm thinking to talk about in some other content. Now Mars will also will aspect Rahu. Rahu will be transiting in Aquarius. Mars will aspect Rahu by its 7th aspect, which will also have some mundane results. You will see there will be conflicts with respect to traditional approach and technological approach. All of a sudden, because when you are talking about creative intelligence, you will see that there is a brain fog moment, particularly the people who are working something related to electronics, mechanics, technology. They will be bound to use more of technology, so their traditional creative intelligence will be challenged all of a sudden. This will also lead to unethical use of AI. Any company which has the manufacturing unit related to technology, electronics, they will also suffer. Their unit productions will be disrupted. There can be problems related to those company or the products related to those company. There can also be, since Mars is also indicator of war, this also indicates cyber attack. So like suppose some software fails, some browser fails, all of a sudden some system crashes, some big software update is like you update the system and something happens. It is indicative of all these things. Mars will be aspecting Pisces where Saturn is transiting. Now this is very important. Last time when I talked about some mundane results, it was, last few videos I've been talking about that. In the month of March, I talked about few things like it can be related to water related calamities. I talked about disease. I also talked about other calamities also. Now, since last 1 month, and particularly in India, I'm talking about, many parts of the country is facing some kind of storm, cyclones, uh, too much rainfall, and problems related to water. Now, the moment Mars enters Leo, and Mars will be aspecting Pisces. Now, Pisces is huge water body where Saturn is transiting. So, Pisces will be under affliction of Mars and Saturn both. So, there can be floods. There can also be contamination. There can be any disruption or problems related to maritime disruptions or related to marine where problems may be there. Saturn is structure, and when you are talking about ideologies, it has something to do with Pisces also, because Pisces is a very compassionate sign and Mars is all of a sudden disrupting it. So there can be instability related to structured mindset and our own ideologies. And you will see wheresoever Mars will be aspecting the sign of Pisces in your chart during this transit, wheresoever the sign Pisces lies, you will see all of a sudden the structure is getting disrupted. Suppose you will feel that, in my marriage or in my relationship everything was so good, but Mars entered the sign of Leo and suddenly the problem started between, there is a friction between me and my partner, as if some stability got disrupted. This thing, a well established this zodiac sign of Pisces also indicates our mental clarity and that proper rest, because Pisces is the 12th sign of the natural zodiac, so it indicates sleep. So there can be disruption with respect to mental clarity, restlessness. So these events can be indicative because of this transit of Mars, its connection with Ketu, connection with Rahu, and connection with Saturn. Now, if someone is asking me that whether there will be any war or war-like situation, regarding that I will say that before we get into any war-like situation, other parameters has to be seen. I can see that there are some parameters which indicates some events which are very volatile, which I said regarding Ketu, which I already said. And that also I talked about the horoscope of India, that is 4th house of horoscope of India happens to be Leo. Some disruptions are there, but for a war-like situation, other things has to be seen. Some other parameters are there which I will not say here because it will be a very long content. Those parameters are not supporting, so it indicates that the month of June, the chances of those kind of war-like situations will be less. But yes, definitely, since 4th house of the natural zodiac, the national zodiac of India, horoscope, 4th house is getting highly afflicted. So country as a whole or the homeland, there can be some kind of disruptions or damages. You will see that after, that is starting from second week of July, until 28th of July, second week of July until 28th of July, that is a span of 21 days. Those 21 days are very volatile. Mars and Ketu will come very close to each other during that particular time. And during that period, around 13th or 14th of July, most probably 13th of July, Saturn is also turning retrograde. That will be a very volatile situation. That can actually indicate multiple issues worldwide, which also indicates war-like situations. The Leo Aquarius corridor will be highly afflicted because Saturn will be giving its result from Aquarius also, by the virtue of its retrograde motion. It will give its result from its previous sign also, as if it is sitting in the previous sign. So you can understand that Mars, Ketu, Rahu and Saturn, 4 malefics, will be impacting that axis. So that is a very volatile time, means not only for our country but also for worldwide, particularly for the countries who has Leo and Aquarius in their first house, 7th house, 4th house, 10th house, 6th house and 12th house. It is very volatile for those countries. Situations can go, means in a overnight situations can change. So that is the mundane aspect. I will not go more into that now. I'm thinking to make a different content regarding that. Now we will talk about the ascendant wise results. Now, as I said that the transit of Mars in the sign of Leo is good, but since it is getting impacted by Ketu, the results are getting modified or updated. So while discussing the results for all the 12 ascendant signs, what I will do, I will talk first about the result of Mars in the sign of Leo. Then I will talk about its impact with Ketu, its impact with Rahu and Saturn, for all the 12 ascendant signs. So it will give you a more clarity, because suppose if I say that Mars in Leo is very good and all of a sudden problem comes, then you will feel that how is it possible, because Leo is a friendly sign, so how the problem should have been solved, why the problem is increasing. So I will talk about all the 4 parameters. First, Mars in Leo. Second, Mars and Ketu in Leo. Third, Mars's aspect on Rahu. Fourth, Mars's aspect on Saturn. Check it from your ascendant sign strictly. And yes, definitely it will give you good results or bad results, or what kind of results you are going to get depending upon which house it is. Number 1, which planets are there in that house, because Mars will be transiting over those planets, Ketu will be transiting over those planets. It will be also impacting the chart. Which dasa you are running through. Suppose you are running through some favorable dasas, definitely the results will be different for you. And how much points Mars has given to that house, the house of Leo, whatsoever in your horoscope, according to Ashtak. If the points are high, the results will be good. If the points are low, then definitely the results are not that much favorable. So everything has to be checked. So come, let's check for all the 12 ascendant signs. For the Aries ascendant people, Mars is transiting in your 5th house. So this will definitely boost your creativity, your creative intelligence. But the influence of Ketu can also indicate that there can be scattered focus. Ketu is a headless planet. Mars will definitely boost your creativity in the sign of Leo, but the focus might get scattered. So you have to have a proper wisdom, proper intelligence, channelize it before you take a decision and before you use your energy, your time and space on some kind of creative works. That has to be checked. Mars will also enhance the romance in your relationship. But there can be ego clashes. There can also be disruption because of the presence of Ketu. There can be certain expectations which might not be met. So this can lead to disruption or problems in the relationship. But definitely the passionate relationship will be seen because of the presence of Mars in the sign of Leo. I will indicate here one thing, that you should not get into very risky speculative works or business during this particular time. Two reasons. First of all, Ketu's influence. Second result will be because of Mars will be aspecting Rahu. Rahu is in the 11th house of gains. So don't get too much greedy or don't get into any kind of shortcut because you feel that okay, if I do that I will get results, high gains, speculative gains out of it. Don't get into it. Too much risk can be a problem. There can be certain problems with, or understanding problems, I will say, conflicts between you and your children. Take care regarding their health issues. Since Mars will be also, means it is aspecting Rahu, there also will be some kind of conflicts or understanding issues in the social circle also, means in your friend circle, I will say. Your creativity, your intelligence will definitely pay you back if you channelize it properly. Speculation will be also creating problems because Mars will be aspecting the sign of Pisces, your 12th house, where Saturn is transiting. So it also indicates pressure or stress through expenditures, isolation, overwork. Don't overdo anything. This can also lead to pressure related to work. One of the best remedy here, I will say, that if you can recite Hanuman Chalisa, that will be really good. Channelize your creativity. Before you take a decision, think about it. One time, two time. Think about the consequence and then go for it. Or else there will be problems. There will be wastage of time. And you will feel about it later on. Because that's how Ketu plays the game. So that's it for the Aries ascendant people. For the Taurus ascendant people, the transit of Mars is happening in the 4th house. So it is a very volatile transit, I will say. It indicates tension, stress within the homely environment, domestic space, between you and the near and dear ones, close peoples. It also indicates sudden relocation, change of residence. Any matter related to your home, all of a sudden it is becoming a burden within your own workspace. So you are not sure which has to be given, what has to be given, how much importance. There can be certain expenditures related to home and also your vehicles. So it can also indicate that you should repair your vehicles if it is possible. If any matter related to your vehicles are not given enough importance or priority, you should give it, or else the expenditures will increase. Since Mars in Leo will enhance your passion, this also indicates that if you want to renovate your home, bring some kind of innovation, decorations, those kind of works will be done very properly, very nicely because of the transit of Mars in Leo. Because you will be very passionate regarding that. There can be conflicts or difference of opinion, means with your mother or any mother like figure or anyone very close to you at your home. Take care regarding the health of your mother during this particular time. Mars will be impacting Rahu. So, during this particular time, there can be a direct opposition from the authorities, or you might oppose that decisions, directions laid down by your authorities. You might all of a sudden become very greedy regarding the success, that I want that and I will do anything in order to get that. So avoid shortcuts, avoid unethical ways of doing work during this particular transit, because as Ketu and Mars will be coming very close to each other, you will take the action, you will do the work, and later on you will realize that what is the consequence later on, because Ketu plays the game in such way. So problems will come later on. In the initial half you will not understand what the thing is going on. Mars will also impact your 7th house, your relationship. So there can be sudden conflicts between you and your partner. You have to be very careful regarding that. This transit of Mars also indicates gains through persistent hard work, because Mars will be aspecting your 11th house where Saturn is transiting. Delays are seen, but yes, gains will happen with persistent hard work. But delays are seen definitely. During this particular time, I will say that you will see that in your friend circle, in your social circle, the bonding between you and your friends are becoming very transactional. Why? Because Mars is your 12th lord and 7th lord. So you will be connecting with them only when you feel that okay, there is some work or there is some benefit, or similar thing may happen from those friends end also. They may also do the same with you. So during this particular time you have to save your energy, you have to save your space, or else there will be mental unrest, because 4th house is also our mental peace. Okay, so one of the best remedy here I will give is that this is a very good time for spiritual activities in home, or vastu correction, alignment of energy with respect to vastu pujan, or any kind of like Satyanarayan puja at home. So it will channelize the energy in your environment, which is very good. Definitely the impact of transit will be there, but these remedies can be done. So that's it for the Taurus ascendant people. For the Gemini ascendant people, Mars is coming in the 3rd house. Mars and Ketu will be transiting in conjunction in the 3rd house for the Gemini ascendant people. Any malefic planet coming in the 3rd house normally gives you very good results, and Mars is no exception. It will boost your courage, your ability to take efforts. Your willpower will be enhanced. This is a very good time to start any work which was pending. You will get the energy, you will feel the energy within you because of this transit. It is so powerful. Now since Ketu is also there can be a very sharp, blunt speech. So your communications can be very rude at times. You will have the communicative ability within you very high but very fierce. So you will, this is the time that you will feel that okay, you are saying something on the mouth, so the listener will feel hurt. The people who are communicating with you, the people who are mixing with you in your social circle, so they will feel a very raw fiery energy from you. So this may repel you from your social environment, so you have to work on that. If you are working in any sector where communicative skills are used, like marketing, sales, suppose you are an orator, you are a public speaker, you are someone where you are communicating with multiple people, you are using your words, in those areas of work you will be doing very good. Suppose you are working in any kind of industry related to communication, it may be digital communication, it may be social media, so you will see that now you are much more focused. But yes, definitely, since Mars and Ketu is there, so particularly in digital communication, digital media or social media, use your words very carefully, because out of your that hyper intention or intensity, you just said, you say something or you write something that can be problematic later on. You have to be careful regarding that. But this is a very good transit for any kind of pending work to start, any kind of hobby, any kind of project. Or suppose you are an entrepreneur, you are working on something but you are not getting results out of it, this is a very good time to give it a boost, enhance your work in multifaceted way. It will definitely give you very good results. This also indicates there can be arguments, there can be conflicts with your cousins, siblings, particularly younger siblings, younger cousins. There can also be some kind of conflicts or arguments with your close friends or any person in your day to day life, in your daily contacts. It can be in your neighborhood also. Sudden short travels can be seen. But suppose you are riding any vehicle or you are moving along with some of your friends, make sure that you don't indulge in too much adventurous activities. You have to be very careful regarding that. Mars here will enhance your competitive energy. Mars will be aspecting your 9th house where Rahu is transiting. So there can be a direct opposition to the ideology of your father, of your guru, or any father-like figure, or any elder of your family. A direct opposition. So this can lead to problems, because later on you will feel that you could have handled the things much better. There can be sudden long distance travel also. So during this particular time, make sure that you go through your knowledge, you go through your wisdom independently. Make sure that before you challenge someone, before you go against the ideology of any elder, you should definitely have proper homework, you should have a proper knowledge regarding that. Okay. Mars will be aspecting your 10th house where Saturn is transiting. So this also indicates that at your work, at your career, persistent hard work will be essential. Because since Mars is transiting with Ketu, a time may come when you may feel that I have been doing too much things but I'm not getting results out of it. That should not be the reason that why you leave your work or why you leave the work pending. That should not be the excuse. Saturn is transiting in the 10th house, which indicates stability, which indicates the work will be slow, but it will give you slow and steady rise. Mars, all of a sudden, the energetic planet, it is intensifying the 10th house where Saturn is transiting. And all of a sudden, you are feeling the urge that, oh, why the work is not happening quick. So it will disturb your stability, it will disturb the mind which is gaining clarity slowly. Don't let it happen. Because when you are getting clarity slowly and slowly, a time will come when you will have the patience to work on it. Don't be impatient, or else there can be problems, or else there can be problems with the authorities, there can be mistakes at your work. Got it? So that's it for the Gemini ascendant people. One of the best remedy here will be that follow the meditation. Be very responsible during communications, and any kind of creative work, any kind of hobby which you want to start, engage in those kind of works. It can be related to creativity, it can be related to sports, athletics. Engage yourself in those kind of activities, but too much adventure should be avoided. That will give you very good results. Okay, so that's it for the Gemini ascendant people. For the Cancer ascendant people, Mars will be transiting in your second house. So this is the house of your wealth and family. So during this particular time, avoid any kind of impulsive spendings or expenditures. Avoid risky transactions or investments, or else this can lead to losses or some kind of problems related to your budget management. Avoid too much expenditures. Unnecessary expenditures should be avoided during this particular time. Since Ketu is also there, so there can be arguments, there can be heated arguments within the family members. So at times your speech can be very sharp, very rude, so you have to work on that. There can be conflicts related to family members or close people. It can be related to inheritance also. I will say that work on your speech, be more diplomatic, although it will be really difficult sometimes, you may feel like that, but diplomatic way of handling the things will be highly beneficial for you during this particular transit. Mars will be aspecting your 8th house where Rahu is transiting. Now, although it will depend upon the dasa, but this also indicates certain events, so drive carefully. This also indicates some kind of like accidents or something like that, but it will definitely it will depend upon the dasa, but you need to be careful. Okay, don't take additional risk, watch your steps, drive carefully. There can be emotional outbursts. Since Mars will be in the second house, it is aspecting, it is just energizing the 8th house, so some secrets can be revealed, or you might reveal some secrets. Mars will also be impacting your 9th house where Saturn is transiting in the sign of Pisces. So you may feel that there are some delays related to your higher education, related to your spiritual progress, or related to any legal matters, if it is applicable to you. Mars will be aspecting your 5th house, so decision making should not be done in a hurry, or else it can lead to problems. Your day to day management skills will improve slowly, but it needs to be it needs to be checked properly. It should not be done only because you want to do it, because impulsive thought process will be predominant during this particular transit. Your food habits will change. Now, since Mars happens to be your 10th lord of career and job, and previously Mars was debilitated, now Mars is transiting in the second house, it is coming out of debilitation. So I will say that this also indicates that you might get new job opportunity, new source of livelihood, or if you are thinking to change your work, this is also a very good time for changing the work. That's what I will say. Now, since second house is also the house of food habits, your food habit is going to change, it seems. And one of the best remedy for this particular transit, I will say, you can feed cows, or you can also donate food grains to Brahmins or to a temple. That will be highly beneficial during this particular transit, you will see, because it will enhance the sattvic nature, it will enhance the sattvic energies. Okay, so that's it for the Cancer ascendant people. For the Leo ascendant people, the transit of Mars is happening in the first house itself. So first of all, it will enhance your courage and confidence, because previously Mars was transiting in the 12th house. So you were feeling that my work, my efforts, my actions are not getting recognized, not getting proper appreciations. Now you will see that you are getting that confidence back, you are getting that courage back, your willpower, your actions, your efforts will take proper shape. This is a very good time for self motivation, self development, transformation in a positive way. But Ketu burns down ego, but Mars in the first house is all about own self. So this may create a conflict within your own personality, that what is correct and what is not, what will give me the best result, what will make me the best version of myself. So this transit is actually going to show you the self realization, provided you channelize your ego, you channelize your energy properly. Don't take reckless decisions, because it is the first house, the brain is the first house. Don't take reckless decision, don't act impulsively only because you want to act in that way, because at times you may feel that your thought process is getting scattered. Since Ketu is there, so initially you may feel that okay, whatever I am doing, I am doing good. But since Ketu, the more the time will go away, pass away, Ketu and Mars will come very close to each other, and you may feel that the decisions taken were not correct. So that will give you some kind of dilemma within your own personality, own thought process, ideology. So self realization will be very essential during this particular time. Don't let the inner stress, because Mars and Ketu in the first house normally can increase the volatile nature within the native. Normally it indicates. Don't let those volatile nature to impact the house environment, domestic space, because your domestic space, fourth house, will be impacted by Mars. Mars will also impact your seventh house where Rahu is transiting, so it can indicate some chaos in relationship, some power struggles between you and your partner, be it personal, be it professional. For the single people I'm talking about, like suppose someone you who are who may say that I am single, I don't have any partner, or nor I am in any kind of relationship. For them I will say that seventh house is also the house of how you connect with other people. It can be any other people, or how you connect within your relationships. Now that relationship can be between any two person, means how you bind with other people. There can be ego battles, there can be clashes, power struggles, there can be a feeling that okay, whatever I am doing, whatever I am saying, only I am correct, that kind of feeling. Mars will be aspecting your 8th house where Saturn is transiting. So this also indicates, because 8th house is also the house of Mangalya Bhav. So the people personally, particularly who are in married life, for them this transit of Mars becomes very essential. They need to be very careful regarding how they deal with your partner, how they deal with your in-laws, or any matter related to your marriage. Specifically, joint assets, shared resources, shared assets, any matter related to inheritance and legacy has to be taken care of very properly during this particular time. And yes, definitely you need to take care regarding your health also, because 8th house will be getting impacted. Another thing is that certain events drive slowly, watch your steps, don't be too much adventurous, avoid unnecessary risk in day-to-day life. One of the best remedy during this particular transit, I will say that if you can chant or listen to Durga Kavach, because first house is body, first house is also your brain, your thought process. So you need to protect your health, you need to protect your mind, thoughts, and take right decisions. So Durga Kavach is the best remedy, I will say, during this transit. Okay, chant or listen to it. So that's it for the Leo ascendant people. For the Virgo ascendant people, Mars will be transiting in your 12th house. So this first of all indicates expenditures or rise in expenditures. So you have to work more profoundly with respect to your investments, your budget management, and financial anything related to finances, I would say. Try to avoid any risky transactions or anything related to speculations, because it can lead to losses or expenditures. Another thing is that 12th house is also our subconscious mind. So there can be anger at the subconscious level, which can get outburst and can impact the environment in and around you. The people living in and around you might get disturbed, or they might feel repelled, or you might feel that you need to have more isolated environment. So this can also increase the tendency to escape from reality, from the real environment. So you have to work on that. Another thing is that it will impact the sleep or the sleep order. It can also create restlessness. So practice meditation, practice yoga, exercises, which will be highly essential during this particular time. You will also feel that you are doing the work, you are doing your best, but you are not getting enough appreciation for your work. Mars will be along with Ketu, so you may feel that there are certain peoples who are secretly harming your work or secretly making some plots which is impacting your work adversely. Mars will also aspect your 6th house where Rahu is transiting. This also indicates that your rivals, your competitors, your enemies are getting active. So this transit has to be taken care of very carefully, I would say. It's a very volatile transit. Any legal matter or any legal dispute or any matter which can lead to legal dispute, avoid it. Simply avoid it. All of a sudden you will feel that the competitive nature within you is getting more profound. So this can lead to you can pick fights very easily, which can impact your subconscious peace of mind. Be very careful regarding that. Mars will also aspect your 7th house where Saturn is transiting. So during this particular time, patience will be the key with respect to how you manage the matters related to you and your partner. Here particularly I'm talking about the people who are in any kind of relationship or partnership, be it professional, be it personal. Very essential I'm talking about. Or suppose you are someone who is into some kind of relationship or who is thinking to get into some kind of relationship, patience will be the key, because there can be sudden chaos, sudden conflicts. If you are patient enough, if you have the perseverance, if you have the ability to manage the things diplomatically, you will see the things will be in your favor. Things will be very properly, nicely managed. Okay, one of the best remedy I will give you is that during this particular time, if you can do some donations or charities to the hospitals or to the ashrams, it will be highly beneficial for you, because this transit of Mars in the 12th house also indicates that your spiritual drive will be very high. So any kind of spiritual works will be highly beneficial for you. You will also feel the urge to join a community which is driven by spirituality, or join a ashram and learn some spiritual knowledge and wisdom from your preceptors, from your guru. So that's it for the Virgo ascendant people. Make the most out of it. For the Libra ascendant people, the transit of Mars is happening in the 11th house. 11th house, whenever any planet transits or placed in the 11th house, normally it gives very good results, and malefics in the 11th house are normally very good result giver, be it Ketu, be it Mars. So here it indicates sudden gains, but yes, your impulsion has to be taken care of, otherwise there can be expenditures also. Okay, you have to be very wise regarding that. But yes, sudden gains are seen, multiple gains are seen, particularly the people who are associated with any kind of work related to landed properties, agriculture, real estate, construction, engineering, technology. Mars here will also give you good results with respect to the group of people among whom you are working. You will see that your projects, your work is getting um, performed well, you are getting success, you are getting appreciation for that. So it will give you good results. But since Ketu is also there, so this also indicates disruption with respect to your friend circle and social circle. That means now you will be very choosy, you will be very picky with respect to choosing the company or the group of people, the close people I'm talking about. So now you will be very much focused regarding who are the people who are really good for you, who are best for you. Mars will be aspecting your fifth house, so it can make you very emotional with respect to your love, relationship, romance. It can also indicate that it will make you very emotional with respect to your creative intelligence, your creative work, your hobbies, your talent. So use that passion very wisely. It will give you very good results with respect to maintaining a proper relationship between you and your partner, and also take you forward towards achieving your goals through your creative intelligence. Since 11th house is also the house of our goals, aims, and its achievement. So during this particular time, clarify what needs to be achieved and follow a proper ethical way and path to achieve that. Mars will also aspect your sixth house. So this indicates that constant, steady hard work is essential in order to have that gains. Okay, so that's it for the Libra ascendant people. One better remedy I will say here is that if you can help the people in like some kind of social service, or the people who are in old age, okay, or any kind of non-government organization, if you are associated with, you can do some donations, you can do some charities, okay, like a social help, that will be beneficial for you during this particular transit. Okay, so make the most out of it. For the Scorpio ascendant people, the transit of Mars is happening in the 10th house. Mars is coming out of debilitation and it is entering the friendly sign of Leo in the 10th house. Mars attains directional strength in the 10th house. So this indicates rise in career, new opportunities at work, appreciations, appraisals. But Ketu is also over there. So there can be ego battles, there can be clash, conflicts with your boss, with your authorities. So this also indicates that all of a sudden there can be disruption at work. Or you might all of a sudden leave the work. Or you may feel that this kind of work is not proving the best for my aim and goals in my life. You may feel all of a sudden this kind of feeling because of this conflicting nature of Mars and Ketu. So in that regard, you have to be a bit more diplomatic, and then you have to work further. Make sure that you don't get into any kind of unnecessary clashes between you and your authorities. Yes, definitely this transit of Mars is going to bring good opportunities with respect to your job. Suppose if you are thinking to change your job, or if you are thinking to get better opportunities for your career, for your profession, this transit of Mars is going to give you very good results. Mars will be aspecting your fourth house, which actually indicates tension, stress at your home environment. Health related to mother will ask your attention. There can be sudden and under stressful situation, there can be some renovations going on, or suppose there can be some stress and out of the stress you are changing the residence, you are bound to do the relocation. That kind of situations can be seen. Now that will depend upon the dasa also, but that's what the aspect of Mars is indicating. Mars will also aspect your first house, so at times you might get hot-headed, anxious. Mars will be aspecting Saturn in your 5th house. So during this particular time you need to be very careful regarding that you don't indulge into very risky speculative work or business. You need to have a proper patience while you are in any kind of love relationship. There can be delays in any work related to creativity or creative intelligence. But yes, definitely the work will be done. But initial delays are seen. So have patience. Okay, don't hurry. Don't take any decision hurriedly. Initially there can be lack of clarity regarding day-to-day decision making. Don't rush it. Only because you want to get the result, don't rush it. Come to a conclusion properly. Make sure that you are taking the decision properly, wisely, and then go for it. One practical remedy here I will give is that make sure that you don't bring the tension or stress of your work at your home. Try to maintain a cordial bonding between you and your close people at your home. Try to renovate the house, decorate the house at your work. Only because you want to achieve something, don't get into any unethical shortcuts. These are practical tips I will give you. Okay, so that's it for the Scorpio Ascendant people. For the Sagittarius Ascendant people, Mars is transiting in your 9th house in conjunction with Ketu. So this indicates the ideological differences or conflict between you and your guru or any guru like figure, father, or regarding teachings of your father or elders of your family. At times you may feel that your spiritual belief system or your higher belief system or your own way of representing spirituality or religious views can become very stubborn, and this can lead to problems with other people. This can also lead to conflicts between you and your guru and teachings of your guru. So during this time it is a very practical advisable remedy will be that why not you go through your scriptures independently, because Ketu is also transiting over there. When you go through the philosophical ideas, spiritual ideas, or ancient scriptures independently, this will give you a better understanding. This will help you actually. So a good remedy will be why not you study Bhagavad Gita during this particular time and also offer water to Surya daily during this particular time. There can be foreign travels, sudden foreign travels or sudden travels to faraway places, long distance travels, spiritual discourses. You will have a better focus towards your higher study. So since I say better understanding, better focus towards your higher study, so this will also help you. Why not you start your spiritual studies also, ancient scriptures also. During this particular time, take care regarding the health of your father. It is very essential. Mars will also aspect your 3rd house. So your communications will be very bold. That is correct. You will feel that confidence within you. That is correct. But it can also become very reckless. So while you are saying something or while you are writing something in social media or in through the digital platform, you need to be a bit careful. There can be some sibling issues, particularly the younger siblings. Okay. Sudden short travels, short trips can be possible. That's what I can say. One more thing I will say that Mars will be aspecting your 4th house where Saturn is transiting. So there can be emotional heaviness within you. Take care regarding the health of your mother also. And I can see responsibility with respect to home and family is increasing or going to increase. So patience has to be restored, patience has to be maintained okay, while performing all the duties and responsibilities. That will give you very good results. So that's it for the Sagittarius ascendant people. For the Capricorn ascendant people, this transit is happening in the 8th house where Ketu is also transiting. So Mars Ketu happening in the conjunction is happening in the 8th house for the Capricorn ascendant people. So this first of all indicates a very intense psychological transformation. First of all, it will be initiated by Ketu and Mars will provide the necessary energies. So during this particular time, you should be following proper ethics with respect to your work, your actions, related to how you deal with other people. It will be very essential because Mars is our willpower, our actions, our energy, our efforts. Correct. In which path we are following it, that need to be taken care of. Secondly, since it is 8th house and it is Mars, so you will have a very intense urge to go through secret sciences, occult sciences, spiritual studies. So this is a very good time to, like, suppose if you have any interest towards studying the occult sciences or secret knowledge or secret sciences, so this is a very good time to study or start the study of occult sciences, occult knowledge, or any kind of spiritual knowledge. Or you can also take help of your preceptor or guru who can guide you in that regard. Since it is 8th house and Ketu is also there, I will say that you should be very careful in your day-to-day life regarding try to avoid any matter which involve risk. Watch your steps, drive carefully, because it on certain events might get triggered. Sudden events certainly means, I will say that it has something to do with like accidents, bruises, injuries, because 8th house and Mars and Ketu are transiting. Depending upon the dasa, definitely it will have the results depending upon the dasa. But that is what the transit is indicating. Another thing is that there can be sudden gains with respect to inheritance or with respect to like insurance related matters, legacy. But Mars will be aspecting your second house. So don't be greedy, because second house you have Rahu, specifically related to wealth related matter. Don't get into any shortcuts, or I will say unethical shortcuts. Try to avoid any risky transactions, risky investments, specifically related to speculation, or else there can be losses, there can be expenditures, unnecessary expenditures. Your speech will become very bold, but there will be too much straightforward, bold, rude manner within it. So at times you might become very aggressive while you are talking or while you are connecting. At least the listener will feel like that. So you have to work on that. Okay. Mars will also aspect your third house where Saturn is transiting. So at times you may feel that your communications with your social environment, particularly with respect to your close contacts, day-to-day daily contacts, so you may feel the communications are becoming very burdensome. And it can also be like you may feel that not only burdensome, but also at times you may feel that the things are means if it is necessary then only you are talking, otherwise no. So there can be at emotional level there can be lack of compassion, because Mars is also impacting it. Okay, so don't get into any unnecessary conflicts. That what I will say. Okay, so that's it for the Capricorn ascendant people. One practical remedy or tip I will say, that during this particular time, that whatever steps you take or whatever actions you take, make sure that it should be with respect to righteousness. Avoid at any cost, avoid unethical shortcuts during this particular time. Okay, so that's it for the Capricorn ascendant people. For the Aquarius ascendant people, Mars is transiting in your 7th house in conjunction with Ketu. Now this is very dynamic and volatile, very intense transit, because Mars in 7th house doesn't want to compromise. It's like my way or highway. and Ketu is also a planet which indicates detachment. So during this particular time you need to exercise patience, steadiness, stability in order to maintain the relationship or partnership between you and your partner. This becomes more important in the personal relationships, particularly if you are in a married life, if you are in a relationship. If suppose any unfavorable dasas you are going through, or suppose any prior any issues were going on with respect to you and your partner, then this transit is going to be very volatile. This transit can also indicate problems. Means I will not say more, but definitely it is not a very um, favorable transit with respect to maintenance of a good relationship. So you need to um, be more patient. And I will say that on certain matters, if you feel that yes, only by if I do some compromise and things are good, then that should be taken care of, because it will not only uh, save the relationship between you and your partner, but also it will also bring that sense of understanding between you and your partner. Try to resolve the issues, matters cordially, because Mars and Ketu here can bring ego clashes, dominations, assertiveness. So you may feel that your ideologies should be kept superior, should be kept first, should be prioritized first. Your partner might feel that his or her opinions are not given enough importance. So they not only may suffer emotionally, psychologically, they may also suffer from ill health because of this all these things. So you need to be very careful regarding that. People who are going to get into a new relationship, or who are thinking to, or they have just come into a new relationship, I will say that for them they need to be very careful regarding whom they are connecting, because Ketu is a headless planet and Mars in Leo is very passionate, so you may get into a wrong relationship. So you need to be very careful regarding that. With respect to business transactions or business partnership, I will say that here Mars is coming in the sign of Leo. So yes, definitely the collaborations will be, initially the collaborations will be very fine, but yes, definitely the spiritual ideologies needs to be matched. Or you may say that how the thought process between you and your partner is matching, that will give you very good results. Or else there can be problems, there can be conflicts, indifferences. The people who are not into any kind of relationship or partnership, for them I will say that seventh house is the house of how you bind with other people. It can be any XYZ, it can be any person you meet with in next morning, or it can be any person whom you are connected with. So there can be ego classes, there can be dominations. Means you may assert your domination onto that person, so that can lead to classes. So you need to be careful, very careful regarding that. Okay, Mars will be aspecting your first house, so definitely it is going to make you a very hyperactive person. Mars will bring that energy within you, so it can also bring anxiousness within you, make you very risky. You may take some steps which is very risky. You have to be very careful regarding that. Mars in Leo in the 7th house aspecting the first house. First house is brain, body. So heat related ailments, for example it can be fever, okay, it can be or anything related to because of your risk, like suppose it can be injuries or accidents. You have to be very careful regarding that. Make sure that this is the time you have to improve or enhance the diplomatic power and the patience level within you. This will be the most practical tip I will give you. during this transit, because this will not only help you take decisions properly, calm down your anxious mind, but also will make sure that how you make proper decisions regarding your relationship, your partner, because your anger, your anxiousness, your dominating nature should not be the reason for emotional trauma for your partner, and indirectly it is going to harm you also, so you need to be very careful regarding that. Okay, so that's it for the Aquarius ascendant people. One more thing I will say regarding the Aquarius, yes, now that Mars will be aspecting Saturn also in the second house. So yes, there can be additional burden or responsibility towards your family regarding the finances. Okay, so that needs to be taken care of. So that's it for the Aquarius ascendant people. For the Pisces ascendant people, Mars will be transiting in the sixth house. So this transit is a good transit, I will say, because all of a sudden you will see that you are getting success. You are getting success in your day-to-day life, at your work, at your job, in competitive arena. You will be able to pay your debts. But since Ketu is there, you have to make proper decisions regarding your finances also, because this can also lead to taking up loans also. Okay, because Ketu is headless. Definitely malefics in the sixth house is good in transit. So here Mars will allow you to pay your debts. But Mars and Ketu together it is there. So that is, as they come very close to each other, make sure that you take proper financial decisions. You don't get into any risky investments. Okay. Another thing is that since it is in the sixth house and fiery element is very predominant, so make sure that you don't get into any kind of injuries or accidents. Okay, you should be very careful regarding day-to-day life regarding all these matters. Otherwise, I will say that at your work, at your job, at your career, in your day-to-day life with respect to your actions, you will see that your confidence is back. Your actions are taking the shape of your reality. Okay, it is going to give you very good results with respect to in those sectors. Okay, you will also be able to overpower your rivals, your enemies, your competitors. So now what happens, Mars will be aspecting your 12th house where Rahu is transiting, so your hidden enemies or any kind of hidden rival, so you will be coming to know about them, their identity, their ideology, their intentions will be exposed in front of you. Okay, but definitely it is aspecting the 12th house, so sleep and health has to be taken care of. Okay, so you work hard, but again at the same time take care regarding your health, take ample amount of rest. Okay, Mars will also aspect your first house, so during this particular time I will say that at times you may also feel fatigue, that too much work is going on and no rest. Okay, so regarding that also you need to be very careful. Okay, so that's it for the Pisces ascendant people. So that's it from my side. If you have liked this content, please press the like button and set to your near and dear ones. If you are new to this channel, tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon, so that every time I make a new content you get notified instantly, and your comments are always welcome to me. Next time when I come back, I will be coming back with some another interesting content. So till then, I'm signing off for today. Thanking you. Bye bye.